There's one muscle which the traditional training system completely overlooks that if trained can completely transform someone's knee health. And I know this sounds crazy, but I overcome 4 meniscus tears and knee surgery at the age of 16 for my snapped kneecap, partial ACL tear, cartilage damage, patella and quad tendinopathy. And this muscle was one of the biggest factors in me overcoming all of that. And if you're not convinced off the bat, all of these testimonials show that we are able to consistently produce this in other people. People are getting back to the sports that they love after dealing with 14 years of knee issues. And this muscle played a key role in all of that. And why do I say that the traditional mainstream neglects this muscle? Well, it is because most people believe that knees over toes training is bad. In 1961, there was a study that came out that said that the more your knee goes over your toe, the more pressure is put on the knee. And this was extrapolated out for people to say, if you put your knee over your toe, this is gonna cause issues for the knee. But pressure doesn't equal issues. Pressure equals stress to adapt to. And we know that the human body is designed like this. The human body is designed so that we take a certain level of stress, which is just above our capacity, but not at the point in which we completely break down and have an injury, and we constantly, continually adapt to that stress over time. If the knees experience more pressure with your knee over toe, then if you adapt to your ability to build more knee over toe strength and the ability to handle that pressure, the more protected you are actually going to be. And so this links to the theory that I have and that we've come up with in ATG, that this muscle that I'm talking about, the vastus medialis, which is the inner quad muscle, is then majorly responsible for knee health, because we know that the first muscle to contract when the knee is under pressure is the VMO. And if we are saying the more the knee goes over the toe, the more pressure is on the knee, that means the more ability that we have for our knee to go over our toe, the more ability our VMO has, because this is the first muscle to contract when the knee is under pressure. And there is a complete video which Knee Science done on when we raise the heel on exercises like the step up or the ATG split squat and the knee starts to go over the toe, there's more activation of the VMO in comparison to the other muscles. You cannot isolate a muscle entirely on its own, but you can preferentially train it. And the studies before that said you can't preferentially train it only went to 90-degree angles, which doesn't allow the knee to go over the toe. And this is what some of the best strength coaches in the world said previously before as well. Poliquin said that the Poliquin step up builds the VMO. It helps to activate the VMO more. He also said that deep knee bends, he used to call it the quad squat. We call it the VMO squat. He showed that this is going to build our quads, build our VMOs even more because of how far our knee is over the toe. And you can literally watch a video on YouTube of him taking someone through this exercise. And one other example that I want to use is Lionel Messi. One of the best knee over toe athletes of all time. His ability to decelerate cut, which is where the majority of knee injuries happen, is otherworldly. And if you look at the size of his VMOs, they are utterly jacked. And so my goal is to get VMOs like Lionel Messi. And I do really want to hammer this home because there is so many people that still believe that knees over toes training is bad. And there is so many people that are getting injured or re-injured after knee injury because their program does not include knee over toe training. But if we don't include knee over toe training, yes, we can still train the VMO in some capacity because you can't isolate a muscle entirely. We are not going to be getting all of that benefit which we would get from the knee over toe training. And so there is a progression to knee over toe training. There's a progression being able to strengthen our VMOs over time, going from backwards sleds to step ups to ATG split squats to then VMO squats. This is the progression that we use inside of our coaching. This is the progression that thousands of people that have gone through and have been able to completely transform their knees. If you look at some of the most protected ATG coaches, they have absolutely humongous VMOs. And so the easiest way to start training this is the sled. Start going backwards 5 minutes a day. Every single time you train, go 5 minutes backwards on the sled. For a warm-up, you get the heart pump, you get the VMO pump, and it's not breaking down the tissues so much, but you are getting activation, you are getting work in that area. And then over time on your leg days, add in things with a slant ball so that your knee does travel a little bit over toe, even if it's on the exercises that you currently already use. So if you're using stuff like Bulgarian split squats, we can add a slight slant board or an ATG buddy so the knee can travel a little bit more over the toe and we can get a little bit more VMO activation, a little bit more VMO strength, which is going to protect our knee in deceleration a lot more. But my favorite ways to train it are Poliquin step up and some kind of deep knee bend, whether this be ATG split squat or whether this be a VMO squat. This can completely transform our VMOs and our knee health over time. If you have had some kind of previous knee injury or you are just looking to get more protected knees, this is a muscle that we need to focus on, not while neglecting other muscles such as glutes, such as hip tibialis, calves, hamstrings, all of these stuff are great, but completely avoiding an area such as knees over toe is going to majorly affect the health of our knees. If you do want a free program which you can start strengthening your knees, start building your VMOs bigger, we give out a free program. It's in the top link of the description down below. And if you do want access to our school community, which is I think is £7 a month, that's in the description as well.